In today's video, we're going to be looking at the xTool F1 and I am so excited. So let's start. Ta-da! You know, some carriers just don't care. Can you see what I see? So in the first little box, there are testing materials and also this tray which helps with airflow when you are cutting wood or acrylic or basically sheet and you need airflow going, well, through these gaps. There were faux leather coasters, wooden coasters, black acrylic samples, metal business cards, slate coaster, photo paper, plywood sheets and metal dog tags. Then there was this plate that goes in the middle of the F1 and one stopper if needed. So this is the F1. And just to let you know about this stop button, your laser will not work if this button is pressed in, so you need to release it first. So as you can see, because I have a window nearby, I could use the xTool F1 without a smoke purifier, but xTool has kindly sent me the purifier with the F1 and so I'm gonna use them together and I think it's gonna be on the safe side as well. And here is the beautiful smoke purifier and it's a really compact size. I am loving it. And you know what I'm loving? How xTool packages their stuff. Everything is so well packed. Okay, so to start, the cables need to be in, especially the key, stop button released and lens cap removed. This button adjusts the laser focus when turned and it also acts as a start button when pressed. Here I have a small packaging box and I'm going to be engraving my logo on. By the way, to adjust the focus, you just need to keep turning the side button until you have the blue dot and the red dot together right on the top of each other. I'm going to first start with card, then go to wood, other materials, metals and finish by using a rotary attachment. There is lots to do, so let's begin. Oh, and all the links to the machine will be in the description box below this video, so feel free to check them out. I gave the box a bit of a wipe with a dry cloth and here is the result. And then I decided to engrave more boxes and more cards. This laser is simply amazing. It's the fastest portable infrared and diode laser and it can engrave over 300 materials with its 2-watt infrared laser and the 10-watt diode laser. You can simply swap between these two lasers and engrave and or cut wood, acrylic, glass, rock, all metals and so much more. It engraves and cuts with precision and great details. The working area is 115 by 115 millimeters, but with a slight extension available for purchase, it will expand to 400 by 115 millimeters. The speed of this machine is very impressive, 4000 millimeters per second, and it supports light burn as well as, of course, xTool Creative Space. And it's a really compact size and therefore portable. I absolutely love this machine, but let me show you so you can get an idea of what the xTool F1 can really do. Then I tried cutting card. I made sure the card was weighed down on all 4 corners, otherwise the fun would suck it in. Look how delicate these are. I'm gonna do one more. Oh my goodness, this is unbelievable. What a great job the machine did. I also attempted to engrave a test photo from xTool on this photo paper, but failed twice. For some reason it just wouldn't engrave on the top, and so I left this one and moved on. I cut and engraved these mini earrings from 3mm basswood plywood. And then I scored this gorgeous bird design on some more plywood. Plus this teeny tiny one. Then I tested the wooden coaster and engraved the same bird onto it. And I engraved it again, this time on plywood. Then I played with this wooden box for a while, and that was a lot of fun. Here I'm testing to engrave a curved surface, and it worked so well, I was really surprised. I have decided to make popsicle stick earrings. And one more with a butterfly engraved rather than scored. Here I'm engraving my ring mandrel. The first few tries were a bit harsh, but the last one looked great. I made a circle design and engraved it onto this wooden circle. And then I made a half circle design and again engraved that onto a new wooden circle. Just imagine some ribbons on the bottom and it could make a cute baby gift. Another popsicle stick. I then engraved this slate heart and it looked simply amazing. I was really surprised actually. You could even engrave rocks. I have seen some people laser engraving fabric, so I tried to do it too. It worked, but I wouldn't recommend doing it since the fibers become brittle after laser engraving and the fabric could rip. And here I'm testing some random objects I had at home. The lid on this one didn't come out great, but this lip gloss container surprised me. By the way, not everything is safe to engrave or cut, so please be sure you know what you can do and what you shouldn't, because some fumes are extremely toxic. Next, I engraved glass. I painted a small rectangle with black acrylic paint and engraved this little car. And for another method, I used some black cardstock and put it under the glass, and I reversed the image in the creative space. Washed both engravings with soap and water, and here they are. I think the one with the card looked a lot smoother and was easier to clean too. Of course, I had to try the business cards too. So I uploaded my business card design as a JPEG to Creative Space, and as you can see, it has a background. When I clicked on the image, it came up with these options, and I just left all the settings as they were and pressed trace. And then save. Once this process has finished, I have ended up with my original image and also the traced image. So all I did was to delete my JPEG image and I carried on using the traced image which didn't have background. After seeing how well the first side looked, I had to do the other side. And then I engraved a whale, because why not? This aluminium tin looked so good with my logo on. And the inside was a nice touch too. By the way, did you know you can do curved text in the creative space? Yep, you can. I also had an idea to engrave my jewelry making pliers and they all turned out superb. Here I'm engraving a stainless steel earring, holding it with a bit of blue tack, but you could just drill holes into a small piece of wood and hold your studs that way. And I am also engraving these stainless steel rings with the same wing design. This is a stainless steel pendant and I engraved this cut on it, which looked pretty neat. Then I moved on to sterling silver, and after my design was done, I just quickly ran the disc over my sunshine polishing cloth to remove the charring. What a result! This is a gold-filled disc, which has been engraved in my previous video, and I definitely messed up the text positioning this time, but the engraving itself looked good. This is a bare brass disc and it's a little name tag for my son's soft toy. Here is a plated brass bar, which is pretty curved, but the engraving went over the curve nicely and looked amazing. And this plated brass disc, I don't know what was going on, but I simply couldn't engrave it properly. I was able to engrave it on my D1 Pro with the IR module, but was having big trouble on the F1. So I will just try and play with the settings more. And finally, the rotary. I wanted to engrave some of my stainless steel rings, and so I plugged the rotary into the F1 right above the computer cable. By the way, you will need a special cable to connect the rotary to your xTool F1. But as I tried to get the blue dot on my ring, I have realized it wasn't going to work. The rotary just wasn't fitting great inside the F1. There were things in the way, and so I switched it to the other side. The cable was a bit short, but it was doable. I made sure everything was nice and straight, and once it was, I cut a small piece of masking tape, stuck it on the top of the ring, and then tried to focus the laser. The masking tape was there to help me see the laser dots better, and also the framing process. I have came up with something better afterwards, which I will show you, but this worked too. After I was happy with the setup, I took the masking tape off and started engraving. So the engraving worked, but it was reversed, probably because I swapped the machine to the other side. I left it at that and proceeded to engrave the inside of the ring. The inside ring band was pretty curved, and so I stuck a piece of masking tape on again to help me see the dots, and once they were in the middle of the ring band, I took the tape off and switched the engraving on. And it worked, and nicely indeed. So I prepared another ring, and this one was even more curved and a lot thinner. I added a large piece of masking tape and started framing. The framing is different than on my D1 Pro machine, as it just goes from side to side, but oh well. I was trying to see if there were any laser beams showing on the bottom of my rotary whilst framing, and there weren't, so I started engraving. And again, the machine engraved the inside really well. And this was about 3 weeks later. I wanted to engrave even more rings and show you a bit of a close-up of my setup. This is to show you the framing. So this attachment came with a rotary, and it helped me to tilt the rotary into an angle I needed to engrave the inside of the rings. I have lifted the rotary, placed it on the wheel of this little device, and since I had the silicone mat under the rotary, it didn't slip. I try to keep the rotary as level as possible, but also have the laser dots showing on the inside of the ring. So I started using a whiteboard marker to color the inside of the ring, and that really helped me to see the laser dots. And once I had the focus spot on, I framed the ring, then I simply rubbed the marker off with my finger and started engraving my design. And I left this design reversed, and it was reversed on my ring. But that was okay, I was happy I found a way to engrave the inside of my rings, and so I didn't mind. By the way, when you switch to the rotary, the workspace in the creative space will change a bit and you won't be able to find the center of the page easily. But I have came up with a little trick to help you. Okay, so here is what I mean. This is just the standard workspace when you choose laser flat, and it's a nice square with rounded corners, and you can move your image or text until it automatically finds the center of the page for you. But once you change to laser cylindrical, it looks different. You can find the center vertically, but not horizontally, and that's a bit of a pain. But what you can do is to go to shape, find the square and add it to your page. Fill the page with the square until it perfectly outlines the page. And now watch this. The program can now easily find the center of the page, and you can make sure your design is in the right place. And then when you go to your settings, you can select the square and click ignore, and therefore it will not be part of your design. This took me a while to work out, and I hope it helps you. Also, while we are here, you can flip your design horizontally here. And if you engrave rings, you need to select laser cylindrical, chalk, and also enter the diameter of the ring, and then it will automatically work out the perimeter. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have done so many different cuts and engravings on this machine. I tested and tested until I came up with these settings in this video. So what I'm trying to say is don't give up if something doesn't quite work. Just keep trying and you will get there. And to sum up, I am more than impressed with this laser machine. I absolutely love it. I love the compact size, what you can do with it. It's simply amazing. So thank you so much xTool for sending me this machine and the smoke purifier to test out. I had lots of fun doing so, and I can see myself reaching out for this machine quite often. Anyways, if you have enjoyed this video, then give it thumbs up and leave a comment if you have any questions or suggestions of what I should do next. And I will see you soon. Bye!